Breaking right now, investigators are desperately searching to find out why EgyptAir Flight 804 fell from the sky and crashed into the Mediterranean Sea. 66 people were on board when suddenly the plane swerved sharply and then quickly began losing altitude. Then the Airbus jet dropped off radar. What clues and data will investigators look at to determine the cause? Former NTSB investigator Keith McGuire goes on the record with us tonight. So, Keith, a lot of different theories. If you've listened earlier, we had some pilots on who have actually piloted this exact same type of aircraft, the A320. Obviously, something catastrophic occurred. What clues are they looking at tonight to give the answers?
There's really not too many clues for them to look at tonight. I mean, at this point of the investigation, there's not a lot of evidence for people to examine. So it's,
what are they
kind of
searching
interesting.
for?
This week, well, first they have to find the wreckage. And the last I heard, they hadn't even confirmed that. So they'll have to find the wreckage, and then they'll start looking through cameras and video down on the ocean floor of what's there. They'll recover that wreckage. Then the painstaking process of putting it back together again, because you've probably got literally thousands of pieces of wreckage. It's not an easy job.
No, and so certainly you want to try and decipher in terms of what forensic evidence you can recover. Obviously, voice recorders, things like that. We do have radar information that's come in. Is there anything significant at this point that stands out to you, and what operating theories do you think are in play?
You know, it's interesting you asked that. I'm teaching a class here at USC this week, and I actually took 804 into the class this morning and said, what do you all think? What happened? And I was very pleased that the class said, we don't know. We don't have enough information on that, because that's exactly the way we train new investigators, to try and keep an open mind, develop all the facts, and then let those facts lead you to a logical conclusion.
Okay, so what about this? The size of the debris field, does that tell investigators anything?
Sure. The size of the debris field basically tells you where it broke up in flight, as opposed to being intact. So if the debris field is scattered over a long area, that's more indicative that it broke up in flight at altitude. However, being in the ocean like this, and whatever currents you have may change that a bit. But the pieces that are going to sink down to the bottom, that's one of the things the investigators will look for.
Okay, and if you were in charge of this investigation, if you could get one piece of evidence that you think would be amongst the most compelling, what would it be?
Oh, the first thing you're going to look for is the flight recorders. I mean, they're not the magic answer that some people think they are, but they're usually a great help. If you've got that CVR and that flight data recorder, it's a huge help. So that's one of the first things you look for. And if I were running the investigation, yes, that's one of the first things I want.
When you were able to get that information, that recorder, does it help you rule in or rule out certain things? And if so, like what?
It does help you rule in certain things or rule out certain things. The thing, Kimberly, you need to understand is that in the accident investigation business, nothing is 100% certain. Even the best investigation, I felt like over the years I might get 90%, and 90% is a great investigation. So you never hang your hat on any one thing. You just develop all the facts you can and then try and look at it. And it will guide you. As you develop those facts, if you'll use the discipline to develop those facts, they will lead you to logical conclusions.
And what I can tell tonight, Keith, is it sounds like that this could take some time, considerable time, given the debris field and the fact that it's in the water. It might be a little bit more difficult to recover some of those crucial pieces of evidence. Thank you for your time this evening.
Good being with you.